Name and address?
I'm Mayor, if I may, I've been working with First Baptist Church. Mitch Russell's here as representative for them, so.
Okay, what they're wanting to do is, First Baptist Church is wanting to close the road, from the custom heating there.
It's from the student center here at the church
Okay,
down to the red light.
oh, okay, so
And-
they could have their Halloween party. That's the night of Halloween, what day is that?
That's on Saturday?
Thursday.
Thursday?
Thursday,
Look.
yeah, Thursday night.
Yeah,
October
Thursday
31st.
night.
Yeah, they talk to the businesses and they don't care, which probably most of them on Halloween night when you be open anyway. So I think we'll let them have the party, there's a motion to do it.
I make a motion. I'll second.
We have a first, Lester, and second, and any discussion? I think that'd be good. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thanks, sir. Anyone else here that's?
Yes,
on?
me.
Yes.
I want to
Would you
introduce
come
myself.
up and state your name?
Yeah.
You don't care?
My name is Pri Patel. I represent Roadway Inn. We just got there about a year and a half ago. We have really changed the place and we want to kind of come here, introduce ourselves, and just see if you guys have any questions, anything we can help address. And we want to be part of the community. And we really want to understand what goes inside and outside of the community, and any way we can help and contribute to the business as well as to the community. And that's why we are here, just to put a face on our name, and so we can also be part of the community.
And as you and I discussed, we'll get that cleaned up. We're in the process of doing that now.
Okay.
And that's gonna help down there too.
Yes, yes, and we have made big changes, and I think police officers here can speak on that too, how much we have changed the place all around, just not for inside, but as well as from outside. We
Big
have really-
change, and we appreciate it as a
Yes,
city.
yes, and we want to be part of that, and that's why we're also making some changes down the months, and we'll let you know what are those changes, so the community can be part of it.
When are y'all putting the pool in?
That's a very good question.
Where is this at?
We would love to do it. If the community wants us to do that down the road, we would love to do it, yes. Yes, we also live at the property right now, yes.
Where's this happening? The motel down there, well, volunteer.
The roadway?
Right where the Mexican restaurant is outside, and then Volunteer High School, yeah, on that same street.
And I can say from the perspective of Churchill Medical Mission, he has come to visit a couple of times. He's asked us if we had any needs. He's actually donated to the clinic, and I'm not gonna tell his business, but I know that he has also donated to other organizations in the area. So when he says he wants to be part of the community, I have experienced that, so.
How many rooms do you have?
So total, we got 32. Out of 32, 4 are used for management and 28 is for guests.
Oh, wow.
And we have
I know
changed
where
a
the family
lot
can
of,
stay now.
we made a lot of changes, including, we painted the whole hotel from inside as well as from outside. We're still working on walkways, breezeways and things like that. But from inside the room, we have pretty much changed everything.
Wow, cool.
Putting new paints, new locks, new toilets, new furnitures, so things like that we have.
So for those of you that haven't been here a really long time, one of the reasons that that is a big deal is because, and Chad can tell you that it was horrible at one time. It was drug infested, there was.
Shut it down.
Yeah, at one point it was shut down. So for them to come in and renovate it, but more than just putting paint on, to make sure that their guests are reputable, not, they don't have.
Yeah, we've filtered through the guests, make sure they have a photo ID, make sure they have deposit money. So we don't allow just anybody off the street and just walk in and just pay us $20 and just get a room. No, that's not gonna happen.
Okay.
We just don't do it that kind of business. We have really simple policies. We even give customer 15 minutes. From the time they check in, they have 15 minutes to inspect the room. If they're not satisfied, we give their money back, they can go somewhere else. We make it very fair.
No West Side Inn problems.
No, none of that, no. And we don't even allow visitor after 9 p.m., no visitor. They can come and drop off people if they need to, but that's it. No bird, no hanging out, like tables and chairs and all that, no.
We appreciate what you've done. I talked to the chief about it. Our calls down there has really went environmental. So we appreciate what you've done.
No, we appreciate you guys. I think because of your support, it helps us boost our energy, and it gives us motivation to do better in community. So I think thank you for all the support, and I hope you guys keep on supporting us so we can do better.
Well, we want you to be successful, because if you're successful, the city's successful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve last month's minute. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next, have the reporter's report. Kimber?
Sorry. All right. So our
Chance to
cash on
speak
hand
now.
investment report, as of June 30, 24, is our total checking accounts in First Community Bank. Is our general fund has $5,818,561.86. Our sewer fund has $2,750,735.19. Pool fund is $52,489.46. Our depreciation fund has $1,552.96. Our drug fund has $34,922.82. Our total savings accounts from First Community Bank is general contingency fund has $3,885.51. General savings fund is $45,165.74. Our restricted reserve has $44,943.62. Sewer hardship fund is $15,961.67. Our senior fitness insurance savings account, $9,752.33. Our local government investment fund, 137955-1 is $773.71. Local government investment fund, 13795-10 is $284.71. Total CDs at this moment would be $1,443,191.80 for general fund 1 and 2 CDs. Our general fund contingency would be $1,434,939.92. Sewer depreciation CD would be $1,358,001.36. To make total checkings and savings accounts with CD accounts as $14,458,354.46.
Anyone have any questions?
Those CDs just will be maturing Saturday, so we'll have to figure out what that.
I'm not looking at the minutes, right, not going down. You have to look at the city, you have to look at, growth in the city, certain things you do, and, as you all well know, city stepped up, put a splash pad in at the city, and then we put a pickleball court, which I think we'll probably have it open another month anyway. 4 pickleballs, correct, Kimberly, and 1 tennis court?
6 pickleball.
6 pickleball, 1, pickleball is the going thing right now. We've got the, tennis courts, pickleball repaid for the courts, and then they got to come in and paint them and so forth. And, we've got the parking lot filled along with striping. We poured a walkway for handicap. It enters into pickleball with hand railing, so you have something to hang on to. And if you get a chance, the board or the citizens, we painted the fence over there. We're gonna paint the fence around the pool when it closes in 3 more weeks. Try to make that part, upgrade it like we have some of our other parks. But as a city, I really feel like, and we'll have workshops on this, we need to pivot now. We need to concentrate on the streets of the city, of this city. Paving, in my view, is the next important thing in this city. Not that sewer is important, but we've got ARPA money, we're addressing things in the sewer right now. So we feel like we can bring it up to par, once we get through these workshops and get through these meetings on upgrading certain things at the sewer. And we put in new screens, we bought several new pumps. So we're constantly looking at the sewer, and you have to. But the pivot for this city now is our streets. We need to, you know, a lot of people say $14 million is a lot of money. $14 million ain't a lot of money, you start paving. Paving is very, very expensive. I've looked at a few of them, talked to the city recorder. I think we need to pave those Stage entirely. We thought we might could pave it to Silver Lake, but it's bad on up there until we reach the city limits from Mount Carmel. That street needs to be paved. But you gotta understand the city, when you start seeing with spider web, it means they're taking on water. And eventually it'll run the base of the city and deteriorate that road. So that's one we're looking at. We're widening, well, Grandview, as you all well know, we can't touch Grandview. The First Utility does, they're replacing the water line in Grandview. Talked to the manager of First Utility, Jeremy Jones. They're gonna help us on that paving Grandview. But you're correct, that street's real bad stuff. But we have to hold off because they just tear it up again. We're looking at, Shelby. We're widening that, where we took that little section in. We're currently working on that. Looking at Shelby, we probably need, once we're done, is pave it all the way from the new section to, down on Oak State. And there's a few more, and we can't pave every street, but we're trying to pick the worst one to pave. And, of course, all that will go out to bid. And then there was, a few more, what we Kevin, you and I talked about. I talked about Shelby, talked about Oak Stage.
I think K Avenue.
I looked at K, we can revisit that again, but it's nowhere near as bad as Shelby. Elm Springs, there's a section down there we wanna correct. And Oak Stage, I talked to Jason, there's some, water drainage we need to correct before we pave Oak Stage and get it paved. So, that's a critical, because it goes in that elementary school that needs to be paved. And then I noticed there's a section in Deerfield, Buck, where you go up a hill, where that's rolling, where traffic's come down, we need to pave part of that. So we'll have a workshop on it, but we've got a lot of paving to do, but we need to do some of it before winter gets here. So hopefully, I've talked to the city recorder, we'll have some things to put out to bid, hopefully by August, correct? And then maybe we can get some of these things paved on our street. We got some work to do at Austin Mills, and we've got a lot of striping to do. A lot of striping to do in this city. Because people drive at night and our paint, it evidently doesn't last as long as it used to. But we need to look at those and see how many streets we got striping. Also put that out for paving also. So I just wanted to let you guys know we'll move forward. Ma'am, you wanted to speak before?
Yes.
Go ahead. If you stand, state your name and address, that's all we ask.
My name is Wenda Prout, and I live at 1045
How you spell your last name?
Prout, and I live at 1045 Virginia Street, next door to the infamous goats that we're having a problem getting rid of. From the time that they were first visited from animal control was June the 17th, and from the time that they will be going to court will be September the 18th. That will be 95 days that I've got to put up with the stench from those goats next door to my house, which is like 30 feet from my back door. Their back door, or their windows, their house is not as close as my back door to where these goats are. And the only thing that they do is they feed them and they leave the house. I have to live with this smell.
What do you mean leave the house? They don't live there?
They live there, but they,
Okay.
the wife works at Randall's. The husband sleeps all day and works at night, or works during the day and sleeps all night. The rest of the kids take off. I believe the goats were the girlfriend to the oldest son, and she just thinks they were cute, brought them home and stuck them in the backyard.
How many goats?
There's 2. And the pen that they're in has never, the grass has never been cut. I have pictures of them. They have been cited by animal control. They were cited on, first time for animal control on 6/17. They were told, animal control was told by them that one of the parents would take the goats. They had 10 days to get rid of them. Well, I went away on vacation and came back, and they were still there. I was gone for 7 days, and it was 11 days later I came back, and they were still there. And I called Chief Mosley and asked, and he says, "What do you mean they're still there? They said they'd be gone." Well, by the time that they finally got their notice, went out there and talked to them, it was, they put a red hang tag on July the 3rd, and that was 17 days. On 7/8, they went out there and served them with the subpoena, or the court order. And their court date will be September the 18th. The goats are still there, and I'm not gonna put up with the smell till September the 18th.
Okay, why did they not come to court in August?
The date that he served was like a week before the court date, and that court docket was about full. So we had started setting for the next month. That's normally the way we do it, you know. We only have court once a month.
Could we reset the citation to be August?
Tomorrow morning's the court date.
Oh, okay,
Right. So that's kind of why we set it to that point.
okay.
Our, what is it, 500 feet is what it's supposed to be from any resident for that
Right.
type of animal?
Exactly. And I'm 30 feet.
Do they have a permit?
No. They were- and they were
When's the last time
told
we even issued
10
an animal
days.
permit for chickens or
We
anything?
issue quite a few chicken permits
Chicken?
now. We do. They just never come in and apply for one. We didn't know they brought them in. I don't know anything about goats, but they're 2 small baby goats is what they look like to me. They're smaller than most dogs. And we
But
found
they
out,
eat and they poop. And they
Found out
eat.
about
Are they pygmy goats?
No.
Or are they baby goats?
When they came in, they were the size of a sheepdog, probably about this tall. Now they're about twice the size of that.
Oh,
But they're
What is their
in
process on
a
who we get
yard
the permits to
that's
apply?
not, they're not cutting the grass, and they're pooping everywhere in that field. They don't clean the field, so the poop is
if they
everywhere.
would have applied for a permit, animal control would have went out and inspected the property, seen where they were gonna do it. We normally routinely talk to neighbors, see if there's an issue with it, and we make a determination whether a permit will be issued or not. They never applied for a permit, they just brought in the goats.
Do we even have the authority to tell them that they can't have them?
Yeah, code 10-102 is what they're in violation of, and like I said, we have a court date, so.
And 10-105 says, any animal or fowl running loose at large or otherwise kept in violation of this chapter may be seized by animal control officer or any policeman and confined in a pound provided or designated by the board of mayor and aldermen. If the owner is known, he or she shall be given notice in person by telephone or by a postcard addressed to his or her last known address. The animal or fowl may be humanely destroyed or sold if not claimed within 5 days. If the owner is not known, the animal or fowl shall be kept for 3 days and then humanely destroyed. I don't want it destroyed. I just want it gone from my back door.
Mayor, I think the operative word in that section is may be seized. There's not a requirement that the city seize this animal. The procedure that the codes enforcement has followed is the proper procedure. There's a court date. I would suggest you appear at that court date. If you if you have a problem with that, you can hire an attorney and file a civil
The
suit for
attorney
nuisance.
is the judge.
You- Well, then he may have a conflict of interest.
And
So-
I brought,
Well, we're not gonna have any evidence here.
Okay.
This is not the place for that.
I know.
The court is the place for that.
right, but I shouldn't have to be the one that followed up on animal control, not going out there after the 10 days.
We have done what we're supposed to do.
You know, he was supposed to make sure they were gone in 10 days, but they weren't gone in 10 days.
And we issued a citation, correct?
Not in 10 days, though,
But we did issue a citation.
after 17 days. No,
Okay.
actually 23 days.
Well,
But that's not right.
that's, well.
And they come to my house and on my property and scream at me.
We're not gonna litigate this here in this setting. You have an opportunity
But
to
I've got
express.
to live with this for 95 days.
We've done what we're supposed to do.
No, you were supposed to get rid of them.
No, we're not supposed to get rid of them.
They were
It
supposed
says,
to
we-
remove them.
it says,
And they said they would do
may,
it. They said they
the
would do
city
it.
may, and they didn't. And they chose to follow the procedure that's set forth in the ordinance. And that's what we're gonna follow.
The owners of the goats said they would remove them within the 10 days. one of the
We're not
next
gonna
days.
go over that here.
Well, this is what I
So
was
you
told.
bring that to court, and the judge, if he has to recuse himself, he will.
But I
So-
have to put up with it for 95 days, because we
Yes.
can't get the date moved.
You-
Is there no court in August?
It's tomorrow morning,
It's in the
tomorrow
morning.
morning.
There's no court in August?
Tomorrow
Tomorrow
July.
Tomorrow's July.
Oh, August. Are you sure it's
Yeah,
September?
that's what I was asking, could we
Yeah,
get them in?
is there a-
Okay,
Is there not a?
yeah, we have a court date in August.
Well, can
Can
it
we
be
not move that
litigated?
Saturday?
You
I'll
still
get it
got the
moved
same
to-
problem.
I can get it moved
We
to August
have to follow
21st.
procedure. We can't just, we're not gonna go out and take people's property and incur the expense of putting it, we're not gonna do that. We choose not to. It says we may, if we so choose, but we do not choose to do that in this instance.
But okay, if it was a cow and it was pooping.
I'm not
there
gonna
at
answer
door,
that. We're not
It
gonna.
would be okay,
We're-
but I'm.
No, I
just-
did not say it would be okay. Don't put words in my mouth. We're gonna follow the procedure that's set forth, and they'll see if we can have an August court date. You need to notify your attorney or the judge that he has a conflict, so he can arrange for a substitute judge. And that may not be available. That's something that
I won't
you
be the
should.
attorney. I'll just-
But we can move the date to August instead of
Right.
September, that's what I was asking.
I got the dates wrong, but if it's September, the August court date was full, but I can make the place in it. That's why they started
Okay.
setting in September.
And I
We'll
might
get it
ask
moved.
again, could we revisit these folks, try to talk to them to remove these animals? Can we do that?
We can try.
Okay.
I don't think it will go well.
I think the problem with that is that, you know, there are multiple animals cited in that section. And if we make it a practice, and I'm just speaking from a practical standpoint, if we make it a practice that every time one of those animals is within 500 feet of that we go out and we visit and we visit and we visit, I mean, it becomes a compounding issue that we're just constantly responding over those situations like that. And so that's,
Well, she admitted that it was her error, because she didn't read the next order that said that it wasn't all right within 500 feet.
Okay. We'll try to get it moved to August, in the meantime, we'll try to go talk to them again. Chief will, along with our code enforcement. A lot of times you can work these things out if you just have a civil conversation.
Yeah, they came over and were not civil with me for 20 minutes. I heard them screaming and hollering at me and calling me everything but a white woman, because I didn't call animal control on them, because I didn't know it till the next day that they were there.
Okay. See if we can do that, let me know how it goes, but at least we can get them in the August court.
Or removed before then.
We will not be removing them before.
No, but if the people will.
Yeah, we'll try to have another discussion.
I would not advise anyone on behalf of the city
No.
to take somebody's goats.
No.
I don't want that happening either. I think they're cute goats, but I just don't like the smell.
I wouldn't want to be, if we read,
Well,
read,
and I know that the volunteer high school has some sheep over there that they're used for the CTE classes. And they might would like them,
no.
but,
Well, my understanding, goats are pretty expensive right now, they probably could sell them. You know, but, anyway, see what we can do.
thank you.
You're welcome. Next, under new business, or yesterday, you said new business. Next new business, orders 24-522, orders to reduce pollution by establishing peak stormwater management, erosion prevention, and settlement controls measures, and permanent water quality stormwater management. You wanna read that, Chris?
Yes, sir. And just by way of introduction, we are required to have in place a comprehensive stormwater management plan. There's 50-some pages of this, of these revisions.
I'm gonna way the reading except for the introduction.
Thank you.
Is it your motion?
Yes.
We have a second? You second, Bud?
Yes.
Okay, we need to have a vote on that, Chris?
Yes, we do.
We have a motion second, any discussion, call the roll?
Happy Christian? Yes, because it was boring, because I read it. James Christie?
Yes.
Kim Webster.
Yes.
Bud Tipton.
Yes.
Michael Walker. Ms. Gill.
Aye. Next, first reading orders 24-522, orders to reduce pollution by establishing peak stormwater management, erosion. Aye, Chris.
Whereas uncontrolled stormwater drainage and discharge have a significant adverse impact on the health, safety, and general welfare of the residents of the city of Churchill, and an adverse impact on the natural environment by carrying pollutants into the receiving waters within the community. And whereas the city of Churchill is required by federal law, particularly 33 USC Section 1342P and 40 CFR 122.26, to obtain a National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, NPDES permit, through the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation, TDEC, to reduce stormwater flows and associated pollutants discharged into waterways through Churchill's stormwater system and drainage ways. And whereas the NPDES permit requires the city to impose controls on future and existing development necessary to reduce the discharge of pollutants in stormwater to the maximum reasonable extent using management practices, control techniques, and system design and engineering methods, and such other provisions which are determined to be appropriate for the control of such pollutants. Then, now therefore be it ordained by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of the City of Churchill that Title 14, Chapters 3 and 8 of the Churchill Municipal Code shall be deleted and replaced by the following Chapters 3 and 8, and the addition of a new Chapter 9. Now, we've agreed to waive a formal reading of the next 50 pages. I hope you all have had an opportunity to review in your package the language contained within this. Will and I have worked with Chris Alley and his associate Todd Wood at DT Wood Engineering to bring us into compliance with the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System requirements. We think this language will suffice. We'll find out. It has to be submitted by September 1st. So we have this reading and the next reading to accomplish the adoption of these changes. And we can ask Will if he's found any significant changes in what this new ordinance will require.
It's more additions than anything. It's making sure that all municipalities, or as the state of Tennessee likes to refer to us as an MS4, on the stormwater, basically we have to have a program in place. A lot of cities have either skate by or barely got by doing this stuff. And inevitably, just the easiest way I can basically say, we're kind of like the EPA for our stormwater, making sure that no one's polluting it and making sure that we try to reduce as much pollutants, whether that be garbage, oils, things like that, even sediments from construction sites are considered pollutants. My job is to manage that based upon these ordinances that have been put forward. We went in under a new stormwater permit from the state of Tennessee through what's referred to as TDEC, Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation, in 2022. Before I took this position over, we were way behind on a lot of stuff. Of course, the gentleman at the state was able to help me and guide me in the right direction as far as what we needed to do. And once we get this passed, once I finish basically matching, I have to type out an entire program. And I think I'm up to 200 and some odd pages at this point, that we have to basically show that this ordinance, our program that we do here, we have to have public education, employee education, even as far as going with, and it's kind of tough to do this, but having engineers, construction professionals and stuff like that, we have to educate them as well. With the use of our stormwater consultant, which is DT Wood Engineering, they're the ones helping us now to do this. So once we get this done September 1st, we're good right now on everything. We got audited in December and everything looked good at that point. For someone that had no clue, I had to train myself on a lot of this and call and ask a lot of questions. But once we get this ordinance passed, we're good to go.
There seem to be a lot of similarities with other Tennessee municipalities.
Yes.
So I looked up several of the major ones.
Basically,
It looks like I won't say it mimics, because obviously there's a lot of differences, but it does have a lot of the core.
yeah,
core
the
things
biggest
that are a
thing
lot of the same.
about this, Mr. Walker, is we can actually fine somebody up to $5,000 if they're willingly violating this code. That's one thing that did go up. I know that used to we had $50 fines was a max that the city could do, but when this went into place, that changes things. We've had one, I'm not gonna mention any names, but we had one business in town that was dumping sewage into our storm drains, and that was called into us this year. That had went on for some time, we didn't know about it, and once we stopped it, that's kind of what this does, if that makes any sense.
Did we find them?
Yeah, they actually came to court and pled guilty.
So that would have been at $50, and when we put this in place,
It can be up to that.
Well, I
Chris can
don't,
explain that.
I don't think this increases the municipal judge's fining authority. That fine, if it exceeded $50, if we sought more, would go to general sessions court. So we have the opportunity to enforce that type of fine, but not in municipal court. That the municipal court's limit is $50. But and
This document is backed up state law. Basically, I still hold certifications as a law enforcement officer. We can write search warrants, do whatever we need to do to, if we have probable cause to believe that someone's violating the law, whether it be through, it's called illicit discharges, whether it be, like I said earlier, oils, different things like that, whatever it may be. If they're
so
doing
is that, the definition of sewage
sewage,
is
illicit,
not necessarily.
yeah, illicit
what-
discharges can actually be down even to the fact, the first one I ever got after I took over this was just someone that lived in one of the older houses in town. They didn't realize it, but their sink was draining out of their house. Everything else was going where it needed to be. Me and Jerry actually was the one who brought it to my attention. And every time they would use their dishwasher or their sink, it would run out into the ditch line and down by their house. And that's a consideration. You don't really
There's
think about
way more of
stuff.
those than what we think.
Oh, yeah, there are a whole lot.
What about the county? How they gotta take other counties, other counties?
They have to do it as well.
They will have to do it
Yep.
also.
DT Wood Engineering, that's our consultant, the only thing they do is consult for us, basically like Chris does. The law, they basically give us the engineer's side of everything. They're in charge of us, Jonesboro, and Washington County, Tennessee. They do pretty much everything for those two jurisdictions, but I handle the management side of it here. We just kind of use them when we need advice on stuff, or run into any problems, or just like this ordinance, they brought this ordinance about, so.
I can comment on the real estate side. I'm sure that would interest you. For developers in the past, sediment ponds often just fell into disuse. They weren't maintained. This puts teeth into development plans, requires bonding. You can't just create a collection pond, sell the lots out in a development and walk away. It puts teeth into, if you're gonna create that detention pond or retention pond, whichever, there has to be annual inspections, there's got to be a bond in place, and this sets forth the procedures for ensuring that those are maintained and annually worked, inspected.
Or any construction sites, another part of that, Chris brought that to my attention. Construction sites, if that site discharges, just like our park that we're building right now, where that discharges directly into a state waterway, that has to be inspected once a month to make sure all of the erosion prevention and sediment control items are in place, like your silt fencing, stuff like that, at the entryway, making sure that there's rock that basically can gather all the mud off the tires, stuff like that. That way it's not taken out onto a roadway and then it goes into storm drains and then into state waterways. I'll just use this, the new mini storage place, for
Right,
example.
I saw that.
It's that's what's considered a non-priority site. We don't have to, but I mean, I've got two of those sites basically. Anytime there's a construction general permit, I have to inspect those. And if I run into any issues, I can handle the enforcement myself. And if they don't comply, at that point, I can contact TDEC to come in and help me with it.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions?
You usually don't want to ask that when I'm around.
I don't want to close any doors.
I appreciate your patience with me.
We have a motion on ordinance 24-522.
Move to adopt.
Have a motion to move to adopt, have a second.
Second.
Discussion. Call the roll.
Kathy Christian,
Yes.
James Grigsby,
Yes.
Ken Wester,
Yes.
Buck Tipton,
Yes.
Michael Walker,
Yes.
yes,
Aye. Next, we have resolution 24-588, resolution to modify health insurance coverage. What this is about, we used to pay 70-30, the taxpayers pay 70% of health insurance, and the employer pays 30. We changed that this year for this fiscal year, where the city pays 80 and the employee pays 20. So, you wanna read that, Chris?
Where,
Yeah, you got it.
whereas health insurance premiums for municipal employees of the city of Churchill have stayed constant and have a low effect on municipal expenditures. And whereas the city of Churchill currently pays 90% of premium costs for some current employees, their spouses and qualified dependents, and most employees paying 70% of premium costs per employee and 100% of the employee's spouse and qualified dependents. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen for the city of Churchill, Tennessee, that the following modifications to the city of Churchill employee health insurance plan be approved. Number one, all employees of the city of Churchill hired on after February 20th, 2018, and bearing the 30% of premium costs for the employee and 100% for the employee's spouse and qualified dependents, shall be given a decrease in premiums to total 20% of the premium cost for themselves and 100% for the employee, spouse, and qualified dependents for the coverage provided to the employee through the City of Churchill. All employees hired after July 16th, 2024 shall bear the 20% of premium costs for the employee and 100% of the premium costs for the employee, spouse, and qualified dependents for the coverage provided to the employee through the City of Churchill. The employees who are currently bearing the 10% cost of premiums for themselves, the employee, spouse, and qualified dependents will stay the same.
What's the pleasure of resolution 24-588? You got a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt.
Have a second? Second. Discussion?
Robert Christian,
Yes.
James Grigsby,
Yes.
Well, this may
be Chris is not here tonight. You know what?
Bud Dixon,
Yes.
Bob Walker,
Yes.
yes, sir.
Aye. Next, if y'all notice, we come in with today's resolution 24-589, resolution, the City of Churchill amending the fiscal year 2025 budget. You want to explain that, Kimberly, what that is, right quick before Chris reads it?
Okay, so, when I turned in our, budget to the state comptroller's office, to be approved, they noticed that in our pool fund, it had a negative ending fund balance. So I needed to make sure that we put in the transfer that we normally do every year that I forgot to put in there. So basically it's just change showing that the general fund is transferring $30,000 into the pool fund. So the pool fund is uptaking $30,000 more dollars. So that way it'll have an ending position that's in the positive, not a negative number.
And this has happened before, where we forget to transfer money into the pool when the pool opens up. So basically, that's all it is. So we had to do that today, so what do we need on resolution? We have a motion for number 24-589.
Make a motion to special reading.
I'll second.
Discussion, all we're doing is moving money around, putting that line item.
And then one other thing that we changed in there is I had a duplicate line item. I had a line item for parks and a line item for recreation with the same amounts. So it actually doubled that line item. So in this, I took out one line item and it's now parks and recreation.
That's all, is that all we have?
Well, we need to vote on there was a motion to waive the formal reading. Was there a vote that was?
Okay, you mean about,
First one,
What?
yeah, motion and second.
you want to read it?
Well, I'll have to take and call the roll first. Kathy Christian,
Yes.
James Grigsby.
Yes.
Ken Westbrook.
Yes.
Bud Dixon.
Yes.
Michael Walker,
Yes.
yes, sir.
Aye.
Okay.
So, the introduction is the governing body adopted the fiscal year 2025 budget. That's 2024. By ordinance number 24-519 on June 18, 2024, and submitted the budget to the Tennessee Comptroller of the Treasury, Division of Local Government Finance for review. Whereas the Tennessee Comptroller's Division of Local Government Finance has required an amendment to the budget pursuant to Tennessee Code Annotated Section 9-21-403. Whereas pursuant to TCA 921-108, at the direction of the Tennessee Comptroller of the Treasury or the Comptroller's designee, any budget amendment required pursuant to TCA Section 9-21-403 may be amended by resolution of the governing body. Whereas pursuant to the Tennessee Budget Manual for Local Governments, to be eligible for approval, the budget must be amended by resolution and returned to the Tennessee Comptroller's Division of Local Government Finance within 45 days of the date of the letter requiring the amendment. Should the budget not be approved, the municipality will not be able to issue debt beyond an emergency financing pre-approved by the Comptroller's Division of Local Government Finance. Whereas adoption of a budget amendment by resolution is permitted by state law to meet a condition for approval of the annual budget by the Tennessee Comptroller of the Treasury or the comptroller's designee, and all other budget amendments shall be made consistent with the public and/or private acts that govern the budget adoption and amendment process of the municipality. Now therefore be it resolved by the governing body that it hereby adopts the following changes to the fiscal year 2025 budget, according to budget submitted to the Tennessee Comptroller of the Treasury, Division of Local Government Finance for review. The pool fund is shown to have a negative ending balance. The general fund will be transferring $30,000 to the pool fund, which was not appropriated for the 2025 budget. Also, the Parks and Recreation line items were separated into two departments in the original budget, showing duplicated allocations. The Parks and Recreation now showing as one department, and the transfer of funds from the general fund to the pool fund is shown in the changed budget tables below. Those are highlighted on what you have been set in preparation for this meeting. Thank you.
Okay, do we have a motion for resolution number 24-589?
We just, not, have more time with the pool, did we lose that much money?
No, it had nothing to do with what we lost. What we lost, we paid it last year. We just forgot to transfer it correct as a line item. That's all.
Last year, there was a transfer of $40,000
Yeah.
to cover that. This year, it was only 30. So it seems like it's in better shape. Yes, that's what it seems to
Who
me.
ain't closed yet?
I make a motion to adopt resolution 24-589.
Have a motion, the vice mayor, a second.
Whatever.
Michael Walker, second. Discussion. Call the roll.
Kathy Christian,
Yes.
James Christian,
Yes.
Ken Lester.
Yes.
Doug Dixon.
Yes.
Michael Walker.
Yes.
Dennis Day.
Next, I guess that's all we have on the agenda. I'd like to express to the board, a couple things. I'm gonna get back to the streets on paving. What we've been doing is we've got several streets. I know there's one in Deerfield. Where's another one we got, on the cul-de-sacs? We've had several streets that, in our cul-de-sacs has got trees. And we are taking those trees out because they are undermining our roads. We've got one especially in Deerfield. We approached them a couple of years ago. They didn't want the tree cut, but now that it's undermining the road and destroying the road, we had no choice. But we will be taking these trees out of these cul-de-sacs. And what we do is go in, once we do that, dig it out, repave that cul-de-sac, so garbage truck just come in and turn around. But, we've got one we done on Collins. That one's done fixed. It's just, I guess the developers years ago left those trees there, but the roots undermine the road. You can't drive on them, they're up and down. And I know one in Deerfield, like I said, those folks didn't want it cut, but we have no choice. Can't let trees destroy our city streets, because it just gets worse and worse. And we've got maybe two more besides them? That many?
Two more, I think.
Two more. We will have it. Another thing I want to share with the board is, we had a fire. What was the name of the road down there?
Cardinal Way,
Do what?
Cardinal Way, the old AFG road.
Cardinal Way,
Cardinal Way is the name of it now.
Cardinal Way.
It's the former
and we
AFG.
lost our, backhoe. We had a structure that fell on our backhoe. We were lucky that the person running the backhoe wasn't hurt worse than he was.
Right.
We were very lucky that people standing there wasn't hurt or even killed. We put in place now, from this day forward, we take no backhoe to fire departments, or fires, not fire departments, fires. But it's totaled that, we're working through our insurance on our backhoe. I think Chad met with them today. We'll give you an update on that later, but anyway, probably what we're looking at is gonna have to purchase a new backhoe. You don't have a choice. It got the cab, but, that's another thing, we'll have to do out of order resolution, I guess, when we do that.
Well, we discussed it, we can get it out through, Sourcewell, as the company is already, state, bid contract, so we won't have to put it out for bid, we can find something through that site.
Okay. And, I've asked you to work with her on what we're needing, so we're not there yet, but hopefully by next month's meeting, we'll have something, we have to replace this backhoe. We have two right now, one's at the sewer, the other one's at Public Works, but the one Public Works is not in very good shape. So that's where we're at.
One thing I got some calls on was that double wide that's going in behind, the diner, and I just reiterated to him, and I think it'd be a good, I know nobody in the audience is asking about this or anything, just for record's sake. I mean, we cannot, we did this deal with the Deerfield situation, the city doesn't have the right to monitor whether a double wide mobile home goes in anywhere in the city. We can't stop them from doing it. That's specifically subdivision restrictions. So if, you know, and don't mistake the word subdivision as just somewhere you drive in that's Deerfield and you've got a sign there. Every section of the city has been subdivided, therefore making it a subdivision. And so, you know, there's not any other double wides within a rock's throw of where that one's going in. The next closest one is all the way down Old Stage Road, but we cannot as a city regulate that. And I've had a couple different people ask about that within the last couple weeks. That, you know, there's state regulations that allow them to do that, and the only method that we're aware of, that I know of, is that the subdivision would have to come together, meaning each person that is a homeowner or a property owner inside that subdivision, if that subdivision's restrictions or deed restrictions allow them to enforce no double wide or mobile homes. So,
I have that problem on Tipton Street
yeah.
with my lot that I'm trying to sell. It was sold to me with an allowance of putting a double wide on it, as long as I deeded it as a manufactured home. But back in previous deeds, it says that it is restricted to a, anything but a manufactured home, or not, or modular,
Yeah.
or anything of that type. So that excluded me
Yeah,
and
that,
subject anyway.
you know, you run the risk of, you know, I don't mean an attorney, but, you know, you run the risk of getting sued by
Yeah.
some or all, or, you know, whoever in that subdivision doesn't want it
Yeah.
there.
10 lots, 9 different people.
Yeah.
Yeah, subdivision
Yeah.
restrictions overrule city ordinances.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's where we're at on that. Anybody else got anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can somebody please buy some chairs? Every time I sit down, I think I'm gonna fall in the floor. Sorry.
I guess we'll get some tacks and a hammer.
Bring the cushion
Just don't say lose weight. I know, right?
We'll do that. Is anybody else got anything, or has anybody got a hammer and some tacks? Thank you, folks, appreciate it. Wait a minute, entertain motion to adjourn? Got a motion? Got a second?
Yeah.
Adjourn, thank you.